I can feel, I believe I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. To rush, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and breathe. I breathe in, I breathe in, I breathe out, I breathe out, I take in, I take in, I give out, I give out, I let go, I let go, I release, I know. Breathe, breathe,
Yes, going to stay seated. I'm ready when you are. What?
In the silence there.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, everyone. So pleasurable to have you here on this strangely cloudy and thundery day, and yet we are open and bright and alive here at the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Jay, and we have a special service for you today. with wonderful music, great inspirations. I'm glad you've joined us today. We're going to begin welcoming all the way from the sunny shores, I guess, or maybe cloudy shores, but definitely the shores of Hawaii, welcoming Faith Rivera here. So she's going to open us up with our morning chant. Welcome, Faith.
Thank you. Aloha, everybody. Yes, it is bright and sunny here, and I'm just so happy to be with you. I want you to sing along wherever you find yourself. Sing out. You know this is This Little Light of Mine. With a little addition from me, you're going to do some shine shines in the chorus, okay? I know you can do it, but aloha and welcome again to Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. Here we go. There's a little light of mine. What are you doing? I'm gonna let it shine, yeah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I can hear you. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, oh, let it shine, shine. Everybody sing it. Shine, shine. You know you want to. Oh, shine, shine. All around the world. Shine, shine. Yeah. Everywhere I go. What are we doing? Said I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah. Everywhere I go. Oh, yeah. Said I'm gonna let it shine, shine. Everywhere I go, oh yeah, said I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, oh let it, come on, shine, shine. Everybody sing, shine, shine. You know you want to, oh, shine, shine. Hey, all around the world, shine, shine. Repeat after me. When there's light in the soul, when there's light in the soul, there is beauty in the person, there is beauty in the person. When there's beauty in the person, when there's beauty in the person, there is harmony in the home, there is harmony in the home. Oh, when there's harmony in the home, when there's harmony in the, there is honor in the nation, honor in the nation. When there's honor in the nation, honor in the, there is peace in the world. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. No more living in fear. No way. Said we're gonna let it shine, shine. No more living in fear. No way. Said we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it. Come on. Shine, shine. Everybody sing. Shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine. Hey, all around the world. Shine, shine. Oh, my brothers and sisters, yes. Shine, shine. Shine your light for the world. Shine, shine. Be bright, be bold. Shine, shine. I know you want to. Shine, shine your light for the world. All right, guys.
Oh, thank you, Faith. Just we are shining our light today. How beautiful for you to bring that. Aloha to you. Welcome to you. I know we've tried to get you up here several times, and it's so good. It took a pandemic to be able to get you into our room, so to speak. So welcome. And we welcome all of you. If you're here for the first time or you've been an ongoing supporter of her, we really appreciate you being here with us today. And we have an affirmation that we'd like to say to all of you. We simply raise our hands and saying, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community and in the world. Blessings. We also just want to affirm our vision and mission statement that we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. We are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. We are going to shorten during the service the amount of announcements that kind of get stretched out a little far. And we just want to focus today on Sip and Savor. That's coming up on September 26th. And what's great about the way that we can stream in different people, we're streaming in Karen Reed this morning. So I'm going to invite her in the room. And I'm going to move to my speakers here. Actually, I could probably just do it this way. Oh, and then we're comedy of errors here. So good morning, Karen. How are you doing today?
Just fine, Reverend Jay. Thank you so much.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here. I know that you have been a big part of our Sip and Savor last year, as well as we followed your model of Crush MS. I know you weren't able to have the Crush MS event this year, which we sorely missed. But we are going to have this Sip and Savor in September. So I just wanted you to share a little bit about that, about your ideas about that.
Sure, I'd love to do that. First, let me say I miss seeing everyone in person. So hello, all of you out there. And we are so fortunate to have this system set up so that we can connect and communicate. So let's start by remembering last year's Sip and Savor. These pictures might remind you of what a wonderful time it was. Great food and wine, great company, wonderful music, and a fabulous auction. This year, as you have heard, the event will take place, but it will be virtual. So we're calling it the Virtual Gala on September 26th, and that will be preceded by 3 days of viewing and bidding on our auction. So it's a gala that goes on for quite some time, but the actual event, which will be very entertaining, and we invite you all to tune in, will be from 4 to 5 o'clock on September 26th. Now at the gala, it'll be wonderful. I can't tell you too much about the program quite yet, but we will have a live auction component, and our auctioneer will be our local radio personality, Barry Martin. He will be our auctioneer, and we're very excited about this. This is new. Now I'm going to get to some of the items that will be in the auction in a minute, but you can see on the previous screen pictures of vacation packages. First, let me mention one thing. You can help us out with Sip and Savor this year by being a sponsor, number one. You could be a sponsor at any level, either a business or a personal sponsor, or you can help us by donating auction items. Here's some ideas that you see on the screen. Anything works. You will want to be creative and come up with whatever you can provide for the auction. It might be wine, it might be artwork, it might be services, professional or teaching skills. You might want to create a gift basket or obtain gift cards from local merchants. So these are all just ideas, and I can tell you so far, we already have 3 vacation packages, one at Carlsbad Sea Point Resort, one at the Mohorovich condo in Lake Tahoe, and another is a timeshare where you would get your choice of a resort on the Mexican coast. And so these are very exciting, and you'll hear more about these items later. Also, we have already had donated a quilt and framed artwork and photography. And also there are a couple of special items that I wanted to mention. One is a gourmet meal for 6 hosted by Reverend Jay. And he's also donating a labyrinth experience and something that he calls a forest bath. He might need to explain what that is. I'm sure it will be wonderful. we'll hear more about that later also. So please join us in creating this virtual Sip and Savor this year by doing any number of things. You can contact the office and talk to Mary if you have questions, but we would invite you all to connect and participate, and we'll have a wonderful, successful Sip and Savor this year. More on this later. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Karen. And these are things that if you know your company or you're willing to sponsor, or if you want to donate an item, all those forms are online, or you can simply call Mary at the office and talk to her about it, send her an email, send me an email about these ideas, and just know that. So you're pointing at, oh, I see what you're saying. I'm on this screen and not that screen.
We are all learning, and we're
looking off, and then they're going, look here, look here.
And could I just add one more comment? I want to thank
Yes,
you,
sure,
Reverend Jay, and your technical team. It is no easy project to convert from live services and everything in person to everything being virtual. And I think you all are doing just an amazing job. Thank you from all of us.
Thank you, Karen. All right. Well, now we're going to go. We appreciate it, and let us know if you have any questions about Sip and Savor. Any other events are on our webpage. And now we're going to begin the sacred part of our service and back to faith. Blessings to all.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. Where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me. As me, oh, oh, do-do-do. Oh, hey, yeah. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where Life is, joy is, oh, God is.
God is. God is all that there is. God is life. God is joy. God is where I live. God is where I speak. God is where each and every one of us is showing up as that divine expression of the one. We are where the infinite expresses itself as itself. And our connection is the infinite playing with the infinite, expressing to the infinite, listening to the infinite, as each and every one of us. And so knowing this truth, knowing this oneness, I just invite us to sink into that knowingness. And I invite you to a moment of silence where you remember the truth of who you are. So breathing in that goodness, I express my gratitude for each and every person here, showing up as God, doing the divine work. I am so grateful for this center and for the connection that we all share together. And I simply release this time, release this meditation, release this word, knowing that God's got it. It's already done. Spirit is all that there is. And so it is. We invite Faith back for another song.
This song was inspired actually by Ernest Holmes, our one and only Ernest Holmes, and about our connection, our oneness with this thing called life. Today is the day I will change my luck. I will find 3 pennies and they'll be hands up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from the stars and the sun, from that magical one. I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Today is the day I'll remember to see only God, only good happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due me, 'cause I know where I come from the stars and the sun, from that magical one. I am part of this thing called a life, yeah. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Oh, today is the day I'll be more of myself. Love my skin where I've been and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go. 'Cause I know where I come from the stars and the sun, from the magical one. I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between. I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the stars and the sun, from that magical one. I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between. I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. I am loved, oh, so loved by this thing called life.
Oh, how wonderful, Faith. I so appreciate that. You are an amazing person, and I love how your music is part of who you are, your culture, your just your vibrancy. And I know that you work not only through music, but workshops you do, and this just transformational work. So I just honor who you are. Now you're in Hawaii right now.
I
you hear me
am
okay?
in Honolulu. I can hear
On
you just
Honolulu.
fine.
Yes. And you're with your husband, Nolan, and children, and this time of social
Yes.
distancing. How is this for you?
You know, I was talking with Kristen, who's been great and, really supporting me here today from your center. And I was telling her, if I can just be completely honest, it's been an amazing time. I mean, yes, I've been home for 5-6 months now with the kids. But when I look back and I think about it, my daughter's supposed to be going into kindergarten, but she's deferred right now because of everything. Our numbers are going up here on Oahu. And I think back and I'm like, I would have missed all this time with them, because before, us parents were driving around, going from one thing to another. So on a personal level, my heart is so full with the family. And then on a creative level, Jay, I mean, like you said, it took a global pandemic for me to join you. And here's what's amazing is for me, it has brought the whole world back to me because, I made the choice to stop touring so much because of my kids, but because of everything, I could sing in Italy, in an hour, and join you, back for happy hour. I mean, so for me, and I don't want to take away from any of the hardships, of course, but for us, the love and the blessings have been amazing. I released my 11th album during this time, and I've been doing epic virtual events. We did an Aloha Fest, bringing the Aloha spirit. So I don't know. I think this is our time, especially Science of Mind, all the principles we've learned. This is our time to put it into practice. So I'm doing my best to do that. And I've been so grateful, honestly, that I've had these teachings in our communities. They inspire me. And I know there's more. This could be our best time yet. I know you believe that too.
Yeah.
This really
well,
could.
and
So
you see that everybody who's watching this can see the link to her website. So feel free to do that and download music. And not that we buy CDs anymore, but you can download anything you want.
You can.
Music today. What is your take, talking about science of mind principles and how it shows up in the world? We have such racial and political tensions.
Yes.
How do you think we could come together as one and not just in theory and consciousness, but actually doing it in human form as one?
It's all of the the principles that you share, at the top of service, right? When we talk about oneness, about the one mind, one God, I think it's funny. I don't think it's out there. I think it's about each of us really taking that time to make those words real. I sang God is for you. And, I wrote that years ago, and I'm still learning how do you live in that moment? How, when you're scrolling through your Facebook things, how can you live those principles and know them to be true? And again, not be reactionary, but really come from a point of oneness and a point of purposeful, right decision, inspired action, not react. And I know I'm the same. I'm so addicted. I can't help but look. What are the numbers today? What are the And sometimes I just stop and I say, wait, what do I know is true? And it's what I try to say in my songs. It's what you say in your message, Jay. So I can't say what it is. It's not a 1, 2, 3 plan, but it's us living what we know to be true, moment by moment. So
true, Faith. And thank you for doing your part in all that. Your beautiful singing, and I know we'll have you back. This is pretty darn.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I love you. Thank you, Jay.
We'll hear more from you later.
Yes. Aloha. Thank you.
All right. Bye. So today we're going to be talking about colorful or colorblind. And I think you have so many experiences now of this idea of the beauty of race and culture and different orientations and genders and gender expressions, different faiths, and how colorful this world is. And where would we be if we were in a white only or even a black and white world, that it's the colors that we celebrate, that we can allow. And if we think that we might call it rose-colored glasses that we have, that we see everything through those, because as New Thought people, we want to be positive. But if rose-colored glasses means everything is red, everything is one color, everything is monochrome, and how we would miss the beauty of this world in all aspects of it. So to see somebody, whatever race or culture or orientation or gender or faith they may be, with being gender neutral, colorblind, if we look past that, we're missing an important aspect of them. Now, all of who they are is more than that, sure. And yet it is an important part of who they are and their expression. And not only that, we can't assume just like somebody's gender or gender expression or faith is not, it's multifaceted. It has different ways of expression. So it is with our race and gender. Just because someone is a certain race or a certain culture doesn't define who they are. And it's important that we don't assume that by stereotype or area they came from or anything else, but be willing to explore with a person what that means for them and how that expresses through them is that way. What's interesting about I hate to say it, but mostly white people, but all people could say silly things when it comes to race. Often people say things like, well, what are you? Where do you really come from? Where do your people come from? Or do you play basketball? Or what's the deal with this Kanye person anyway? As if one person might know that. Well, you grew up in the suburbs. You're not really, black. One of your parents was white or they were fill in the blank, so you're not really blank. You're so lucky you're black because ... I wish I had hair like that. Can I touch your hair? Some of my best friends are fill in the blank. I don't think of you as fill in the blank there. I don't see color. I'm colorblind. We talked a little bit about that. What do your people think about? And you're so articulate for I don't care whether you're purple or pink. I treat everyone the same. Or I don't see a difference. We're all part of the same race, the same human race. And the New Thought version of that, well, we're all one. And that's true, We are part of the same human race. We are one, and yet not to include, if we're welcoming all of everybody, like I talked about last week, then we include their race, their culture, their orientation, their gender identity, their gender, their faith expression, all of that, all aspects of them. And we do that for ourselves too. We are not limited by the boxes we check on a form. We are those boxes, and yet we are so much more. I don't know if you have to fill out a form recently, but there's like 20 choices now when there used to be 4. I think that's an improvement. But the thing is, many people can check several of the boxes. And people want them to check one box. And when we connect with people, we want to know what box they fit in so we can put them in a box. Let's get rid of those boxes and just be willing to explore individuals and how they express with their race, their culture, and all aspects of them. I know these race conversations are challenging for Black, Indigenous, and people of color. It's an assumption on my part, and maybe other people's part, that these days would be happy, that they would be, oh, we're finally talking about this. We're finally dealing with something of it. But as I talk to people of color, it's challenging for them. I thought of comparing it to a dysfunctional family where there's abuse or alcoholism or whatever other kind of dysfunction there may be. And when people are finally talking about it, when they're really willing to make changes, it may seem like good news, but it's still difficult and challenging for those people in the dysfunctional family. Well, we're a dysfunctional society here in the United States. We have been a society of oppression, a society of limitation, and even of genocide. And that's our past. And it is also our present. And that's part of the importance of us owning the story that we are and the story we continue to be and the way we want to write our own story in this. And what a great opportunity for us in the last week. We've had, with politics aside, Kamala Harris has been a discussion of race. And it is fascinating that here we have a person who is of African, Jamaican, and Indian heritage, born in Oakland, spent her adolescence in Canada going to a French-speaking school in Quebec. She went to a Baptist church and a Hindu temple as a child, and now she's married to a Jewish man, raising his white children, her white stepchildren. That's, people want to put her in a box, but you can't. And maybe we need to be willing to let go of those boxes and appreciate who she is as a multicultural person. Tracy Brown, who is a practitioner at the Dallas Center for Spiritual Living, and I kind of lean towards as a racial expert, as she's done a lot of work in diversity and a Black woman herself, said this about this. She said, when evaluated through a bilateral lens, in other words, a black and white lens, if she's not white, she must be Black. Now, she's not advocating for that. She's saying that's what we tend to do. We want to make her one way or the other, or make anybody we meet one way or the other. Tracy goes on to say, but the reality is Kamala Harris presents our nation with the opportunity to recognize the multicultural, multi-ethnic reality of our world. She grew up in a multi-ethnic family, navigated her life being as a light-skinned Black woman when those labels only told a part of her story. She is a wife in a biracial marriage. Her young adult children are not light, they are white. Separate from debating her political stand or political views, I'm hoping to see some maturity emerge. That's our part, maturity, emerge during the coming weeks related to accepting the complex reality of race and ethnicity in the 21st 21st century. That's our part, to uplift the conversation, to just be willing to see people outside of the boxes, acknowledge that race and culture they come from, but not so we're not colorblind, not assuming, and we're willing for that person to reveal who they truly are. It is our own Ernest Holmes, who founded our Centers for Spiritual Living, says unity and uniformity are not the same thing. No two blades of grass are alike. What does that mean spiritually? We have nothing to disprove and everything to prove that this individualization of the spirit is one of us, rooted in common soil, having the characteristics and potentials of common background, and contains the ancients called the microcosm that we experience here on this planet, this wonderful diversity we have. What's interesting about our DNA, in terms of our race, our DNA is not different enough even to establish a subspecies. If you think of subspecies, if you look at your garden full of flowers or vegetables, each different vegetable, zucchini and tomatoes that's a different subspecies. They're different in every way. Even other kinds of fruit, a lemon and a lime are different subspecies, even though they may be similar trees. Well, as human race, we are not different enough on a genetic basis to establish a subspecies. We are that much alike, and yet we try and put in this social context, this social construct of differences that doesn't exist. And that each individual should be marked for who they are, this colorful person we are. And the first thing, I mentioned it earlier, but I want to really dive into this, the idea of owning our story. Owning our story. And this is a story that we welcome all aspects of ourselves as we grow up. This past week, Viola Davis, the actress on some murder show, I can't remember what it's called right now, but she showed this picture online that was the home she was born in, and she put on social media that this is the house where I was born and is the birthplace of my story. Today, on my 55th year of life, she had her birthday last week. I own it, all of it. Now, this is a house that's on a South Carolina plantation where our early ancestors were slaves, and later her ancestors, her grandparents, were sharecroppers. They were in abject poverty, but they had few choices then. And while she was a young child, they moved out of this house. But it is part of her story. And what she says, that we need to own our story because it connects us to the people that we are, to all people. It relinquishes our fear. And she says that shame cannot exist when you share your story with people who have empathy. So it's her thought is that when we're willing to be clear and authentic and own our own story and be willing to share it in places of people who, in a trusting place, that we can have achievement, confidence, contentment, and happiness in everything we do. Although growing up in that environment, she also remembers a lot of joy and happiness around her birth and her childhood. And if she was trying to distance herself from the negative aspects of that life and the history of slavery that was part of the DNA and the consciousness in that house, if she pushed that away, she wouldn't come back with the joy and the love she experienced too. And that's the value. We bring all of that. She quoted a Cherokee birth blessing that said, "May you live long enough to know why you were born." And I would add to that, may we live long enough and may be willing and have the courage to own our story so that we can live fully and so we can know what our greater purpose is here and the value of that. So what do we tell ourselves about our story? Wherever, if we look back on our lives, if there are places of shame or embarrassment or guilt or regret, that we need to be willing to accept things the way they were. We're willing to share this story and remember that in the middle of all that shame, there was also joy, there was also love. And it doesn't mean that we are condoning it, but we need to be willing to forgive those who created that environment of oppression, that which we feel guilt. And if we can own that story, we're able to let it go and have this life of contentment, of achievement. Whatever that is for us, we need to be willing to look back at what this life is and to own it completely. And it is from this place that we can reveal our wholeness. We talk about our life as being whole, complete, and perfect and spiritually, but we can also experience that in so many ways in this life. My wife, Michelle, is a insurance sales representative, and she often gets calls from people about many different things. Things that might have happened, like an accident or a problem, and she's there to help them and have them be compensated for any losses they might have. But she often says, as somebody describes something, she has a phrase that instead of "I hear you" or "exactly," she says "perfect." Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you for sharing that with me. Perfect. And then at the end of one call the other day, somebody stopped her and said, "You know, you say perfect a lot, and life is not always perfect. Just want to let you know that." And she goes, "Well, thank you for sharing." And they finished up their conversation, but she reflected on it, was sharing, and we talked about perfection. And life is not always perfect the way we experience it. And yet spirit within us is perfect, and we can experience it in that way. But it's important to know we can't control things. We're not here to control life. We're not in, and yet our consciousness, our knowingness within inside of us, our personal connection with spirit, it can influence, it can change, it can shift, it can transform, it can heal. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're in control, because if we're in control, we wouldn't have all this darn COVID stuff. And yet, when we're willing to allow spirit to experience it as once we are in this COVID stuff, like Faith was sharing earlier, the joy of this social distancing we're having, the joy of spending time with people that we love. And even if we are experiencing health or a loneliness or a sadness around things, we can find in between the cracks something greater. I want to share with you somebody that I'm preparing for this class on revealing wholeness that's going to be in September, and you can find the information about registration on the website there, on the events webpage. But Lisa Rankin is a MD, and she's written this book, Mind Over Medicine, and that's going to be our primary text for the book, our book that we read. And we're going to dive into quantum physics, as well as integrating the body, mind, and spirit in all ways. And I just love the work that she's doing. And she has this great video I want to share with you about the importance of.
So I think that if we can teach one thing to people who are on a healing journey, it's to develop that connection, the solidity and the trust, the ability to kind of surrender our mind's intense attachments to thinking that we know how to control the journey, and to trust that something can help us navigate the journey, and it's very individualized. And when we're able to do that, I've seen over and over again, people can have really mysterious outcomes. But it's not about, everybody wants to figure out, how can I secure the outcome that I want and control it? And I think, again, it's back to that land of paradox. We can participate, we can be proactive, we can follow our intuition, we can write our own prescription, like treat the root causes, do the psychospiritual trauma healing work and such. And we're not in control.
To just think of it that way, that we're not in control, but there are things that we can do there, the inner work, the following our intuition. So she really is going to be a great guide in this class. But also, if you just, you don't need to take the class to know the greater truth of what lies in you and is revealing in you to reveal this wholeness that is always there. And when we're able to own our story and able to allow Spirit to come through us in this way, we can influence, we can choose our response to situations. And we can also give ourselves permission when things aren't going well, that's okay too. That things are not going to be perfect right now or ever in that way. Yet the Spirit within us is perfect as it reveals to us. And the final thing I want to talk about today is that we're never alone. Never. We may seem alone, especially in this time, especially if you might live alone, or if you're distant from those whom you love, grandchildren or your children or dear friends that may be far and near, that you are never alone. Spirit is with you, and I hope you sense this community is with you also, that we wrap you in love, that we protect you in consciousness with this love. And if you're not feeling that connection, reach out in one of these groups or take a class or something. Give us a call. We'll connect you to something more tangible if that's what you need right now. But I want to assure you, you're never alone. This week was my birthday, and I had a great birthday. And thank you for the cards and emails and social media posts. It's always so warm to get those. Michelle did give me a surprise that was just blew me away. So many good presents, but this one just stood out above. She was able to do through a web service. One of my favorite musicians is Michael Franti. He often plays at Bottle Rock, and his group Spearhead. And I just love his music and what a conscious person he is. I met him briefly one time. And his wife was speaking at the Women's March. And so they're very conscious in what they're doing. Anyway, she was able to contact him, and he sent me a video wishing me a happy birthday, which I really appreciated. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I think I'll post it on social media, the whole thing, if you want to hear the whole thing. We just don't have enough time. It was like a 6-7 minute video. He kind of got long-winded at one point, but I'm going to cut to his video, his song, and the reason why is because I think this song is for all of us, that I am with you. So as you listen to the song, know that I am personally with you. This community is with you, Spirit is with you, and you're never alone. And the end, it ends with a happy birthday for me. So it just enjoyed that part too, but mainly hear the heart of this song.
If you ever lay awake at night, wondering if we'll be alright, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. If you're sitting at the kitchen table, counting up your bills to pay, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. If you drop the kids at school and wonder if they'll make it home today, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. And if you hold a friend and say, I wonder how we got this way, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Can you hear me? Is your heart beating like a drum? Can you hear me? I don't care where you come from, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your, if you're weary and you're broken and you don't know what you're hoping, if you're willing and you're able, come and meet me at the table. If you lost your way to laughing, can't remember how to dance, and if you're out of tears to cry, take my hand and I'm on your side. I'm on your side. life is better with you. When I think about the things that we've been through. Hey Jay, I know just one thing is true. Michelle says, life is better with you. Happy birthday, Jay! Peace!
So clever ending to that. But back to the message of that we are on your side. And if there's ever any doubt of that, please reach out, because we are definitely on your side in all ways of your life. We love you and we're here for you. We see you, all aspects of your colorful expression in life. Let us go to prayer. This I know, that there is only one, and that we each are a whole, complete, fabulous, and perfect expression of the divine, just the way we are. It is a spiritual expression. Who are we to doubt what that expression is? Who are we to doubt anything at all, but just allow Spirit to come through us as us in perfect and beautiful ways? This is the nature of who we are. And we allow this to be in this moment. We know that any prayer request you might have in your mind, or that you've written down or you've sent us, is being heard by Spirit right now. And there is action in that for healing and revealing and wholeness, divine right action. Any medical procedures or challenge you have, we know right now that Spirit is with you. The Spirit is on your side. I'm on your side, and we're on your side, and all is well. And so it is. And now a little more of faith.
Beautiful, Jay. Thank you so much for that and for sharing your birthday gift. That was awesome. This is a song I actually wrote when I worked at the Covenant Presbyterian in Long Beach, and I worked with the at-risk kids. They call them at-risk, but they were amazing kids. The rainbow of kids, black, brown, yellow, white, whatever the heck we were, and we wrote this song together celebrating this rainbow of people and hearts that we have. So here we go. Vibrant colors fill this place. See the warmth in every face. Look around at the rainbow of people who come to praise. Single mother dressed in red stands next to a World War vet. And up in the front there are children, brown, black, and white. Oh, the candle glows and the Spirit flows. The word's been brought to life. We come together today, put every difference away to share our colors of praise. We blend our voices with love, reach out to one God above. We shout with colors of praise, colors of praise. We walk our different paths, look to find a love that lasts. Here to paint a picture in gladness and joy in God. Some in t-shirts, some wear ties, many who have changed their lives. From the streets we have come to make this place our very home. Oh, the candle glows and the Spirit flows. The word's been brought to life. We come together today, put every difference away to share our colors of praise. We blend our voices with love, reach out to one God above. We shout with colors of praise, colors of praise. Pink rose, red glow, purpleness, cool black, love lasts evermore. I said God flows like a rainbow, and our hearts know as the joy grows, and we all show the colors of godliness. Oh, the candle glows and the Spirit flows. The word's been brought to life. to one God above. We shout with colors of praise. We come together today, put every difference away, to share our colors of praise. Reach out to one God. Ooh, colors of praise. Colors of praise. Colors of praise. I hope you sing with me. We're going to just sing love flows like a rainbow. And we all show the colors of godliness. And it goes like this. Love flows like a rainbow. We all show the colors of godliness. Love flows like a rainbow. We all show the colors of godliness. Oh, love flows like a rainbow. We all show the colors of godliness. Oh, love flows like a rainbow. We all show the colors of godliness. That's for you. Thank you.
Faith, there's so many wonderful comments about you online. I hope you can go back and see that. But a lot of alohas and, just how wonderful your music is this morning. So thank you for being with us today. This is the time in our service when we acknowledge those who have given to us. Either you've sent in checks or PayPal or PayBill, whatever that is. We appreciate your giving. We appreciate your support in doing that. So we take representatives of people who have sent us, but we also honor those in whatever way you've given, as well as your time and talent as well. So thank you for being a part of that. And we simply affirm that divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings to all. And we also honor those families and children and the challenges right now, and yet the joys of having your children closer to you at home. And we just raise up and know that for your children and for all families that we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. And finally, our community affirmation that we like to say each week. Repeat after me. Wonderful things are happening through me right now.
Wonderful things are happening through me right now.
I'm led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. Oh, and now Faith for our final song.
It's been my total joy to be with you guys, and I'm going to look forward to next time and just know that we are each shining our colors, right? Exactly as we are, and standing together as one, that no one is alone, just like you said, Reverend Jay. This is a song entitled Together. You can repeat after me, and you can also sing the OEOs, but this is our song celebrating our oneness in action, our oneness right now in real life, right? Living it. So here we go. Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Together we break the chains of sorrow. Together we live the truth. Oh, together we raise raise our voice for peace. Together we sing and jump for joy. Together we move, oh we groove, yeah we dance. Oh together we live the truth. And here's the truth. In every part of me there's a part of you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, alright. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, we sing alright. Today we live the truth and the future's bright. Oh, we oh, oh, we oh, oh, we oh, the future's bright. Oh, we oh, oh, we oh, oh, we oh. Together we walk our talk with spirit. Together we boldly shape our dreams. Together we share this life of freedom. Oh, together we live the truth. Oh yeah. 'Cause in every part of me there's a part of you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, alright. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah. Alright. Today we live the truth and the future's bright. Oh we oh, oh we oh, oh we oh, the future's bright. Oh we oh, oh we oh, oh we oh. We live and breathe as one. With kindness and compassion we free our love. We free our light. We free the truth. And the future's bright. Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Oh, together we break the chains of sorrow. Oh, together we live the truth. Oh, yes. 'Cause in every part of me there's a part of you. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Alright, alright. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh, yeah. Alright. Today we live the truth and the future's bright. Oh, 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 the future's bright. Oh, 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 the future's bright. Oh, oh. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Faith. And as we go forward, we know the truth of who we are, that we own all of who we are, and we're willing to hear the story of others now and always, and know that you are a blessing. And so it is. Have a wonderful Sunday, wonderful week.